Hi, I'm Gene Triplett, entertainment editor for the Oklahoman and NewsOK.com. I'm here this happy Monday morning with George Lang, Matthew Price, and Brandon McDonald, the entertainment staff of the Oklahoman. And we're here to talk about entertainment news. And the big news this past weekend was X-Men Origins Wolverine broke in at $87 million. What do you make of that, Matt?
Well, it's a great opening. I mean, the two things that spring immediately to mind. Apparently, the bootlegging did not hurt it that bad because that's a great opening. It's about the 16th biggest summer opening of all time. So at $87 million, it's pretty strong. It's below Last Stand, but it's above X-Men 2. I think that's something that anybody involved is going to have to be happy with. One small note that may not have helped, but I think overall kind of helps Jackman. Everybody kind of likes Hugh Jackman. I mean, he just bought, like 400 breakfasts to guys waiting in line in Tempe, Arizona to see the preview. Also, another thing that I think helps his credibility with sort of the nerd crowd, he cut a promo for Free Comic Book Day, which he didn't have to do at all, but cuts a video promo encouraging literacy and sending people out to comic book stores. So I think that helps energize the base a little bit when you say, okay, this guy's, if not, a movie star, maybe not exactly one of us, but certainly into some of the same things we're into. I think it helps move the needle a little bit.
Right, and he's also spearheading Ghostopolis, right? It's an adaptation of an upcoming graphic novel. So.
Yeah, he's attached, right? I believe so. Yeah,
right.
So yeah, I think the fact that Jackman is well liked by men, by women, and has a strong following among sort of what your core audience for this movie would be, that's some of the things that help this movie open so well, I believe.
Yeah. Randy, what's your take on this?
Well, I think it really bodes well for the summer movie season. I mean, it was kind of predicted that it was going to be huge because the entire year has been huge so far for movies. And I think that as I discovered over the weekend, I went to one of the early screenings of Star Trek. There's a huge amount of buzz for that. That's the next big opening. And I think we could very well see a string of just blockbuster openings week after week after week, as strong as the summer is. Mm-hmm. And there is a lot of great buzz, and I can't give a review of Star Trek, but I will tell you it is well-deserved buzz for the film.
Is it?
So.
All right. George?
Cool. Well, it also shows that the studio isn't just completely whiffing on this. I mean, this is for all intents and purposes the fourth iteration of the X-Men series, and there was sort of, after Bryan Singer left, there was sort of the law of diminishing returns possibly going into effect, with Brett Ratner directing the third one, and you know how I feel about Brett Ratner. But then, but they brought in.
Our audience might not. So why don't you tell them and really?
No, I'm really not going to get into it because there isn't enough digital storage in the world. Okay. But then they brought in Gavin Hood, who is a good director. He directed Rendition, which wasn't a really strong film, but he's a competent director, and to say that he's better than Brett Ratner is like saying that Mexican food tastes better than Dryerland. But but they put some talent. They're putting some talented people in, and so they didn't take the route that the Superman series took in the '80s, where the third edition had that odd comic angle with Richard Pryor coming in, and then the less said about Superman 4, the better. So really, all
Can you believe you said Superman 4?
I know. Taking into account that this is the fourth in a series, and most fourths in a series are not worth watching, I think that this bodes well.
Okay. Well, it did get a mixed review. I mean, the reviews weren't all stellar or anything for it. So I'm kind of imagining what's going to happen whenever we get one of these movies that really hits it out of the park with reviewers and that starts getting really strong reviews, because obviously people are in the mood to go to the movies right now.
Right.
And I'd like to congratulate you, because that's a Brett Ratner insult I haven't heard from you yet. Original Brett Ratner insult.
I got a ton of them. I'll be here all week.
Very great.
All right, well, summer season's off with a bang. You think Star Trek's going to be able to match that number this coming Friday?
I mean, Paramount's been downgrading their expectations. I think some of that is just they're playing the numbers game, that if we downgrade and then we exceed, that looks better than if we're way up here and we don't hit it. I think Star Trek could do a very similar number next week.
Okay, we'll see what happens. Well, summer's here and the time is right for going to the movies. So thanks for listening in this week, and we'll talk to you again next week. We'll see what breaks the box office then. Thanks for joining us.
See it.